Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final match of the top 8 of the 2016 YugiTuber Grand Championship. In this match, we have Josh, our qualifying tournament champion, going up against RescueCatDuelist. And with us for this commentary, we have our man across the Atlantic, for us people here in the US, the one, the only, Olinthio.
Hello, hello, and oh my days, he's opened so good. My man, he's repping the encounter fairies. It's the dream hand. You need to draw Ariadne and 2 Providence. That's all you need to draw. Draw the Ariadne. Come on.
And he's main decking Banisher of the Radiance as well.
Yes!
There's the Ariadne.
This game's done. Locked in. Luster effect. Pop the Ariadne. Get another Ariadne. Search out any counter traps. He's going to go
choosing
for...
Ultimate Providence, which is the best one you could choose.
So he doesn't have a Providence in hand. So he's obviously going to search out a Providence. It's honestly, if you don't have a Providence, it's one of the best things to search straight away, simply because you get a free pop, a free negate of anything. That's it. So... Yeah, so obviously we got RescueCatDuelist, who's a very good friend of mine, so normally I would be repping for her, for the Brit, but how can I not rep Counter Fairies?
I was going to say, you're really torn right now. You have to go between, the deck that you're just coming off that top 64 with against a good friend, and you're choosing the deck. I mean, what does that say, Will?
It's, it's a painful thing, but... Flossie has actually got the bar, which is going to be... But it had the warning! A free warning, that's it, free negate, nice and easy.
Yeah, that's good.
Flossie still has some, she still has a special summons and also a dark hole, so there's still a couple of plays she can do.
She does.
Going into the Virgil could be a possible play, but that Banisher is going to really put her behind, because no matter what she does, she's going to try and neg. So if he plays the, so there's the Providence.
Yeah. The Providence is going to go ahead and negate the Dark Hole, which pretty much, I mean, at this point, Flossie was trying to bait that out, because now if she wants to go into a Virgil play, like you were saying, she's capable of doing that or something, but I don't think I remember seeing Barbar ever getting hit by Solemn Warning in my life, so first time for everything.
Exactly, yeah, so Flossie just kind of needs to roll the dice at this point. It depends if she wants to try and neg, and obviously those 2 back row could possibly be... live or not, it completely depends, but the problem she's got is that if she just makes a passive play and sets, as she's doing now, there's going to be another search off Ariadne, which is a big thing, and
absolutely
2 Ariadne. Oh, but he isn't. That's a strange play.
Interesting. Yeah, he's just attacking into it.
Maybe he drew into the other Ariadne. Oh, he didn't. That's a bit strange, because what I would... So he's got the
drastic drop-off on the allure of darkness.
Love the drastic drop-off. Personally, what I would have done there is popped the other... Unless he... Well, of course he's playing 3 Ariadne. He must be. Because then he would be able to... well, I guess because Banish is there, it all goes to the graveyards. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one, but... I don't know. I think getting the extra counter trap is quite important.
Of course, and it's so funny that Rubik's, fat ass can actually, just kind of stall for a bit while RescueCat figures out what she can do to advance here.
Exactly, it's a bit of a stalemate. Personally, I don't know, if I was in RescueCatDuelist position, I might want to hold off a bit, because counter fairies are notorious for not having any really high monsters, high attack monsters. That's why I personally play Moon Mirror Shield and Mage Power. Mage Power too strong. But so
you need something to get over, like, the big threats. Like, when she goes into something here like an Acid Golem, I mean, Josh might have an answer to this, but, just having that Moon Mirror Shield or that Mage Power allows you to get over things like this much easier. But it looks like the Banisher is going to hit the graveyard.
Yeah, so, Flossie actually has a couple of different options she can do, but maybe just being passive. But the problem she now has is that Acid Golem is going to start, wearing away at her quite painfully. If she doesn't try and finish this. But obviously, so we're going to see the Luster effect, then the Ariadne effect. We're probably, unless he's drawn into a card of demise, we're going to see a Ariadne be pendulum summoned to defend and also to gain more counter traps. So that is the problem that that Flossie's now facing.
Absolutely, and that it's pretty much like you said, that Acid Golem is just like a ticking time bomb at this point, because going into Acid Golem, you either want to win the game off of an OTK, or it can honestly spell your demise, because she can't special summon now. She's just locked out of so many options now that she went into that Acid Golem. She's fully committed to that. Josh won't be able to do a lot with it.
Interestingly, there was 2 strikes and a Chaos Trap Ball. Interestingly, she said he could have the Chaos Trap Ball. I'd personally go for the strike, because if you were going to go into like a Dante, for example, the strike would at least put it into the graveyard so you could get the effects.
I thought that was odd as well.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not entirely sure what that was. Maybe she was scared of any other monster effects that she might have trying to go into, and maybe try and play around it by only summoning non-light or darks, but yeah, so we're going to see the Farfar come out and banish the Ariadne for a clear swing of 3k.
Yep.
That's completely fine. So, if I was in that position, I'd take the 3k.
Yeah, because at that point, you still have 3,100, and you can afford to take that at this point. There's not really a huge risk.
Exactly, yeah. So it's just saying, lol, drain to the Mage Power.
The Mage Power.
Mage Power too strong. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 extra attack. So that's so good. So that's putting it on, what, 4-2?
5-2.
5-2. This is strangely familiar from when I was at Euros and I attacked the game with a 5-2 Ariadne. How interesting.
Wow, that's crazy.
6-2. No, he has 5-2, my friend.
Wait, is it 6-2?
It's 5.
25, 35, 45. That's 52.
Yeah, it's 5-2.
I think
I know that for a fact.
Yeah. I was going to say, the only way you can go higher than that is if you have like a field spell or something, too.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's all good. They're just probably fixing the math. Yeah,
5-2 is fine. You don't need any more than 5-2.
So, interesting fact about Josh in this tournament, though, he has not played a single meta deck, and he's all the way in the top 8 so far. I mean, he played Infernoid in the first round, he played Yang Zing Zephyra, like, shenanigans last round, and now here he is playing Counter Fairies.
Good old.
Good on him.
I'm quite proud of this deck. A lot of people have really been taking this deck quite far, and I'm
nice
quite
Chaos
happy.
Trap Ball on the graph. I really like that.
Yeah, so obviously Graph is a very important BA, and to be able to Chaos Trap Ball, that is actually insane.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure
Flossie just passed, because there's nothing else you can do.
Honestly, I would have scooped at this point.
Ooh!
Yeah.
The Artemis
that's
now.
Fully game over, because the Artemis is now just going to allow him to net constant draws every time he activates any counter trap, so it's just so good. And it's just it's just a continuous effect. It doesn't even activate, which makes it so much better.
I think it's really funny that Flossie's paying 3 copies of Cattle Call.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Ooh, the Allure. Now this could be very interesting.
I was going to say, this could turn it around, so let's see. Unless he has a Providence, he could negate it, but...
I wouldn't negate this, personally, because there's no point negating the draws. You can let them have the draws, you just stop everything else.
Absolutely.
So
now she's going to special out the Alec.
And then normal the Farfa.
Farfa.
So I would imagine trying to go into Dante here, probably.
Yeah, and this could be good because she can actually remove the Mage Power from the Ariadne.
Well, you just remove the Ariadne, and there goes Mage Power.
Yep.
And then you can beat over the Bountiful, but it seems to be going for Grand Pulse.
Grand Pulse instead. That's an interesting call. I wonder if she's going to.
She might be trying to go.
Is she going to pop the Ariadne?
No, you wouldn't pop the Ariadne.
I was going to say. Looks like she is.
I guess she is. Fair enough. I mean, what do I know, eh?
You were the one questioning, why has no one ever popped the Ariadne, so there you go.
Well, because the problem with popping the Ariadne is you're giving your opponent 3 pluses, while
That's true.
At this point he's only got 3-1 life to pay. At the point where your opponent is so desperate to pop the Ariadne, you've probably recycled through a lot of cards, so you probably still have a fair bit of life points, so popping the Ariadne is almost pointless at that point.
Yeah. No, I agree. Because unless he was on a lot lower life, like if he was below 15, like that might be a really good time to pop the Ariadne, because then he would have to, dig for counter traps that aren't going to really have any cost.
Yeah, I bet a Moon Mirror Shield gets played now or something really stupid that they'll just rub it in the face. But the Grand Pulse is actually going to allow for popping in either player's turn now, which is quite big. But it's going for Overlay, which is in this position a pretty good choice, simply because you can just get rid of the monsters. Obviously, Grand Pulse is not going to activate its effect.
It can activate its effect because it doesn't have blue layer.
Oh no, of course,
yeah. It needs blue layer to have
opponent's player.
The quick effect.
Yeah, I always forget that.
No, it's okay.
So Seer looks like it's just going to be set.
Yeah.
This is quite a bad situation for Flossie to be in. No monsters, though. That is a problem in Counter Fairies. Whenever you need a monster, it's very difficult to do. Because she's broken the pendulum scale, it's actually fairly decent. So, in hindsight, it's a pretty good move, but it's also a very risky one at the same time.
It's really rough for Josh right now because he has no Ariadnes left. Oh, and she top-decked into the tour guide.
Oh, so good. But there's got to be an answer for that tour guide.
Of course,
5 back row. I would imagine to see a strike or something maybe come down now. I can't see this summon of Dante going through.
Yep, Chaos Trap Hole. By the Chaos Trap Hole, but that does turn off the strike, so now she is free to tour guide, at least without the fear of strike hitting it.
It's very, very true. So
do you just risk it and go for it?
Well, you have to.
I know, you don't have a choice.
You've got one card. You have to do it at this point. But it is good knowledge, the fact that the strikes are turned off. We saw the warning earlier. There's no more Chaos Trap Holes if he was maining a third. This is pretty big, but still she's very behind. But
she's going for the Nightmare Shark.
Now, if there's a Blazing Mirror Force, this is a normal Mirror Force, anything like that, this will obviously stop it. But it's going to be very interesting. I'd expect a Quaking right now because we haven't seen one yet.
This could be it potentially, unless Josh has an answer.
There's got to, or maybe Storming. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because you have attacked directly.
Force.
Yeah, or Drowning, sorry, not Storming, Drowning. Yeah, it's so good. So that's game over.
Yeah,
100% absolutely. Game over.
So the Seer is going to trigger, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so now she might not be dead, because remember, Rubik does have 2100 defense.
It is very true, but knowing the power of the Counter Fairies, you just got to draw. You just got to draw godly. You'll draw into, draw into another Card of Demise, draw into the Moon Mirror Shield, just go all in.
I was going to say, Card of Demise is exactly what he needs right now.
Yeah, or just any equip spell. So the Barbar's actually going to maybe, or still thinking.
Yeah.
I think Barbar would be a good one. Yeah, Barbar's going to be
good, because you can get him down to at least 200, and then if you can somehow just recur... Oh, the Jurassic Drop!
So good.
Such a good card.
But
I love it.
That will trigger the effect.
Yes, so now Josh is going to be down to 200 life.
Yep.
So
Clutch
Josh
time.
just needs to find a way to get rid of that Rubik, and he can go ahead and get
Card of
and he
Demise.
got the Card of Demise.
However, that does still buy Flossie a turn.
It does.
And now she's on 3-2.
She's on 3-2.
With the pot duality as well. So the Quaking, the Drowning, and the Eccentric. Take the Quaking. Quaking Mirror Force.
The Quaking is the ultimate thing just to completely shut down BA.
So
especially being on this low of life.
Yeah, he's saying a hard choice. It actually isn't a hard choice in my opinion. The Drowning, you would need to have a direct attack. So Nightmare Shark you've already seen. But he's going for the Eccentric. Maybe he just wants to get rid of the actual monster. However, he's not going to do any damage this turn.
Yeah.
So that's a very interesting one. I guess he's just trying to... See, because personally I'd take the Quaking because you have the Bountiful in hand.
She left the Bountiful in hand and he got Dark Hole.
Because if you go for the Quaking, you've got the Bountiful to draw off any other counter traps that you may or may not be able to use. I don't know. Now he takes the Quaking, but he doesn't have any monsters. So,
yeah, because what he could have done was he could have taken Quaking, summoned the Artemis, just set the Quaking. He could have waited a turn. He honestly could have just waited
a long
until
time.
He would have drawn
he could have
that
drew
Eccentric.
It out.
Absolutely.
And a Card of Demise again. That's the third Card of Demise.
Wow.
But so, is there any monster?
The unfortunate thing is he only got one slot left.
And is there any monster?
Doesn't look like... He either has two monsters or none.
Yeah, that must be it. Fossil
Dyna.
Ooh,
that's risky.
That's risky.
My God, no.
But he's got the Quaking, it's fine. I'd personally...
Yeah.
That's a difficult one. Oh man, this is so close.
See, obviously, now I know why that was a hard choice, because...
Yeah, Quaking, nice and easy. Turns off now BAs, because obviously that's a face-down unknown monster.
Of course. So she drew
that's
Twister, which isn't going to do anything.
That's surely going to be it.
It's not it yet. I mean,
it's gotta be.
He's still got to do the damage.
He's got 3
it's
attacks.
2 whole turns.
What's that?
That's a Calcab. That's exactly 200. Oh my God.
There's got to be another. There isn't another Quaking. There isn't.
Oh my God. She took it with exact damage of the Calcab.
See, there's a lot of problems there. I question a couple of calls, but Prohibition,
I agree.
take the Banisher. Too. Take the Banisher. Unless you've got Banisher in hand, take it.
Yeah, no, Banisher is the ultimate card against Burning Abyss. Like, just the fact that they don't get to trigger any grave effects, that's exactly what you want.
See, the Prohibition as well is good. Is this like a exact copy of mine? I don't know.
I don't know. He was maining Banisher, though.
No, I mean the Prohibition.
Oh, the Prohibition. It probably is an exact copy of yours. Who knows?
Yeah, the Banisher's so good.
You should be flattered. People are net decking you.
No, I love it. It's great. I don't mind who net decks me. I think it's the whole point of the game, isn't it?
Of course, yeah.
I love it. I think it's great. Right,
so at this point, now, he needs Banisher and then as many sets as he can, because, I mean, Flossie's hand's actually pretty well equipped to handle some back row, though.
Well, popping 3 back row is going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The perfect setup here would be Twin Twist. Ah.
Interesting. So he's prohibitioning Skarm.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really odd thing to call. Like, it's like you were saying, like, you want to call Twin Twister with Prohibition.
You would call, in this situation, if you can't defend yourself against a Twin Twister, you call the Twin Twister.
Exactly.
Because now the Twin Twister is just going to absolutely blow away those 2 back rows, surely.
Well, it's interesting that Flossie's deciding to MST the Prohibition first, even though it's not exactly relevant at the moment.
It's not relevant at all, unless she wants to...
mill it
okay,
off
there you
Lino
go.
or something.
Chain link 1, chain link 2.
Yeah, okay.
That makes
sense. So then
sense.
she's just going to hit both the back row.
This
He's just like,
Providence and a warning, wow.
Wow.
So,
Again.
maybe in his hand he had a monster, because... I guess so. If he had a monster in his hand, the Providence would be much live, but maybe,
I agree.
don't know, you had to set it at that point. But now Sear's going to come down. Sear is
gonna crash.
going to... Well, it's not going to crash, it's just going to
Yeah.
show the demise of counter fairies now. Seriously.
Yeah, because at this point, unless Josh draws a card of Demise or has one already in his hand, this is not going to be good.
No, it's really not. And even if you had it in your hand, you would play it.
Yeah, he would have played it already, so I don't know. He wouldn't have held on to it.
So, 2 mills are pretty good mills. There was, I think it was a Rubik and a Farfa. Was it? Yeah, Rubik and Farfa.
Yeah, Rubik and Farfa. So, I don't know, though. I don't think I would Farfa here. I would just let the... You're going to trigger the Seer, obviously, but I would run over the Artemis.
No, exactly, because you can run over it, and you want to make sure that your opponent can't keep drawing off of...
Absolutely.
Yeah, because for all you know, they could card a demise into lots of back row and Ariadne, and then that Bountiful is looking mighty fine.
Now, this is looking really good here for Flossie, because she has the Libic, so depending on what she mills here, she could go off pretty well. I don't know if she can... She's not going to be able to win this turn, but she's going to be in really good shape.
They're dead mills, so...
Yeah, pretty dead mill. But she's going to be able to get... that'll be 3,400 damage in.
So, a nice bit of damage there, and we need a card of demise to resolve here now.
Yeah, that's the only way he's going to be able to come back from this, because she's already really firmly established. Now Beatrice hitting the board, which just makes it even more difficult for Josh to come back. What's he going to get?
Banisher.
He got a Banisher. I was waiting for, like, Banisher Regeki there. That would have been amazing.
That would have been insane. I would have loved that so much. But, yeah, the writing's on the wall now, because Beatrice can just attack over, and then main phase 2 you can start activating Dante, for example, if you so wish, and all this stuff. So... This has only just set her back slightly.
Yeah. It stalled for a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so he did the damage there. So she took 19 total. She could upgrade into a second Beatrice, too, if she wants.
Yeah, she could. You could just mill off the Dante and then go into the second Beatrice.
Yeah.
But it just depends on if she feels like she needs maybe an extra 2/5. Even though a Beatrice will provide that 2/5 next turn. It just completely depends if you feel lucky or not, but it does look like she's going to go into the second Beatrice.
Yeah, so she's going to do that, and again, I mean, it's just card of demise or bust here for Josh.
Yep.
He drew 3 in the last game, so he's capable of doing it.
I know, if only it could average out at like 2 a game, that would be perfect.
I know, so what's it going to be?
Well, since nothing's been set, that is it.
So Josh is calling the GGs right there. Thank you all so much for watching the video. That's it for the top 8. Thank you, Will, for all your time.
No
problem. And we'll see you in the Final 4.
See you later.